What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong.
A first for America, the former president, Donald Trump, booked, fingerprinted, and released on bail in Fulton County Jail on Thursday. And the Department of Justice is suing Elon Musk's SpaceX over alleged discrimination. The morning rundown starts now. This is Straight Arrow News, bringing you unbiased, straight facts. Today is Friday, August 25th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Our top story, Donald Trump's mugshot was released by Fulton County Jail on Thursday, soon after the former president turned himself in on charges he attempted to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in the state of Georgia. It is the first mugshot taken of a former president in American history. Trump said the process only took about 30 minutes and that he was treated very nicely by jail staff. After being released on a $200,000 bond, Trump, for the first time since January of 2021, posted to the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. What was the post? His booking photo, captioned "Election interference, never surrender." The Fulton County prosecution is the fourth criminal case against Trump, the Republican frontrunner in the 2024 presidential campaign. The former president spoke out before heading back home to New Jersey.
There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. And this is one instance, but you have three other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all. And we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think it's very dishonest. So thank you.
At the same time, the former president's mugshot is circulating the internet. The House Judiciary Committee has opened an investigation into Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, who has led the prosecution of the former president in Georgia. Maui County is suing the island's electric company over the wildfires that claimed over 100 lives. The lawsuit alleges Hawaiian Electric's neglect led to the deadliest wildfire in the U.S. in more than a century. Early on in the search for answers, videos posted on social media appeared to show sparks from power lines igniting fires as a hurricane passed near the island, creating strong winds that picked up those sparks and turned them into fast-moving flames. According to the suit, Maui County says the utility failed to shut off power despite exceptionally high winds and dry hazardous conditions. The utility company says it is disappointed in Maui County's decision. The exact cause of the fire is still being investigated by federal officials. Russian President Vladimir Putin is reacting for the first time to reports of Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin's death after his plane crashed with no survivors. Putin sent his condolences to the mercenary leader's family, although Putin has mixed feelings over the man who led a mutiny against Russian forces 2 months ago. A preliminary assessment by U.S. intelligence officials has found an intentional explosion likely caused the plane allegedly carrying Prigozhin to crash, although U.S. officials say his death could take time to confirm. A Pentagon spokesperson has declined to say whether the U.S. believes the crash was an assassination. At least 75 officers are on leave after a standoff and shootout that lasted for more than 6 hours and ended with the suspect dead. Police went to the Pittsburgh home of William Hardison Sr. on Wednesday to serve an eviction notice when authorities say Hardison, quote, turned violent and began shooting. Gunfire was exchanged for the next 6.5 hours between police and the suspect. Afterwards, Hardison was found dead inside the home. Dozens of sheriff's deputies and police officers who responded are on leave, a typical protocol during officer-involved shooting investigations. It's unclear how many shots were fired during the hours-long exchange. The Department of Justice is suing SpaceX over alleged discriminatory hiring practices against refugees and people living in the U.S. under asylum. According to the complaint filed Thursday, the DOJ says Elon Musk's rocket company wrongly claimed that federal export laws barred SpaceX from hiring anyone who wasn't a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. The DOJ says that is not the case. The laws do not enforce such restrictions. The complaint says says SpaceX failed to fairly consider applications submitted to the company by refugees. The Department of Justice opened its investigation into SpaceX's hiring practices in 2020. The U.S. is seeking, quote, fair consideration and back pay for those who were deterred or denied employment by SpaceX due to the alleged discrimination. SpaceX has not commented on the suit. And finally this morning, even though many across the country are still experiencing triple-digit temperatures, it is that time of year again to talk pumpkin spice. The famous to some and infamous to others, Starbucks Pumpkin Spice Latte is back for the season, marking its 20th anniversary. Its popularity continues to rise. Starbucks says last year's sales of its pumpkin spice drinks were up 17%. But the fall staple can be rather divisive. In fact, there's a Facebook group called I Hate Pumpkin Spice. But the good outweighs the bad, with one study by Montclair State University saying 92% of social media posts mentioning pumpkin spice were positive. It's not a flavor exclusive to the coffee chain. In the past year, Nielsen says U.S. sales of pumpkin-flavored products have surpassed $800 million. Those are your top stories on this Friday morning. Thank you for choosing Straight Arrow News as your trusted source. And now you can know the second the Morning Rundown is available with the free Straight Arrow News app. Just search Straight Arrow News, then make sure to turn on notifications, and you'll get alerted each weekday morning when it's time to watch. Unbiased, straight facts, that's Straight Arrow News. We'll see you back here on Monday. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great weekend.